Dawn is with us in Indianapolis. Hey, Dawn, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Well, my husband and I, August of last year, I drank the Kool-Aid. We started your program, and we've paid off around $55,000. And we've come up with a situation that we can't cash flow, and I'd like to know how you would handle it. My mom passed away earlier in the year, and there's a large asset that we know is hers, but in order to move forward to make it all come together, we need to hire an attorney.
Wait a minute. Stop. There's a large asset in her estate, and what's the problem with it?
It's an asset my mom and stepdad purchased when they were together. They were married, and because it's not in her name, my stepfather is now saying that it's not hers, and we know that it's hers. So in order to do that, we've been told we need to hire an attorney.
Okay, what is the large asset?
They bought some property on the outskirts of Dallas back in the 90s for about $174,000, and it's now worth $3.8 million.
Okay. And how many heirs are there to your mom's estate?
There's 3.
Okay. And what proof do you have that your mother has ownership in this even though she's not on the deed?
The fact that they were married, I know. They did business together.
But they got a divorce.
Pardon me?
Did they buy this after they divorced?
No, they were married. They were together for 30 years, and my mom passed away earlier in the year.
Oh, so they were still married when she passed away?
Yes, sorry, I wasn't clear on that.
Okay. Was there no will?
Well, they had a trust that they started last fall, and they had everything placed into the trust at this large piece of property. And it was actually under contract, and it fell through the end of last year. So the first of this year, they relisted it, and they actually had an offer around the time that she passed.
But the property's not in the trust.
It was not in the trust, no.
Does she have a will?
She does have a will, and it's a pour-over will. We had it probated because I thought if we had it probated, it would force this
Does it
piece
pour
of
over
property
into that particular trust?
Into that particular trust.
Okay, then every asset of hers pours over into that trust.
Right.
If
My
it's a
stepdad
pour-over
is saying
will, that's how that works. There's no question about this. He doesn't own it.
It's not her.
Do what?
He's saying it's not her. He's saying it's not hers. He's saying she doesn't have half ownership.
Did she, and they were married for 30 years?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So basically he's just trying to screw you kids.
He is, and it only came up when he had a 24-year-old that he's met, now married to.
Yeah. How old is this guy?
77.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's weird. Okay. I would think that if you have a case, and I don't know if you do or not, I'm not a lawyer. It sounds like you at least have something to argue about here. Your share of this would, in most states, I don't have no idea, but in most states, the kids would get half that you divide among the 3 of you. So it's $1.5 million. So your share on this is $500,000. Okay? If he got half and the 3 kids got half and the half is 1.5, right? You said it's 3. No, you said 3.8, so it's going to be a little more than that. But bottom line is your $600,000-700,000 is your part net if you won, right?
Right.
So you ought to be able to get an attorney to take that on contingency, meaning they get paid when they win.
How do I find one of those attorneys?
You find one. They're going to charge you a percentage of what they win. Okay. And it's going to be, be healthy, like a third, a quarter, something like that. But I want them doing that anyway. And then I want them to fight to win. Because if they get zero if they lose. So they're not going to take the case if they don't think they can win it. They're not going to take the case and run you $60,000-80,000 in legal fees into the hole on your stupid credit card, knowing that they can't win. If they get zero losing and they get a nice chunk if they win, they're going to take the case if they think they can win. So You know, what I would do is just contact some. Where was she when she passed away? Texas?
She was in Texas. Yes, the same county that they have the property at.
Yeah, I'd start calling some estate attorneys in Texas, tell them what you're doing, and try to find somebody to take it on contingency. It's not that unusual, really. It's a fairly standard practice where there is a major lawsuit like this. And you need to do it pretty quickly. You need to nail this guy fast before he and the 24-year-old end up in Mexico somewhere.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That's great advice.
Yeah, and that way you're not having, because I'm afraid, I don't know if you got a case. I mean, you're going to have some real proof. You're going to have to put some things together. But the fact that they were married 30 years, in most states, that's going to give her some rights, whether her name is on the deed or not. And you probably can, provide some proof that her income, her assets in some way contributed to the original purchase of this property. But, yeah, Grandpa needs his brain straightened out, sounds like. Good gracious me. Yeah, you get advice from a 24-year-old when you're 77 on legal matters. That'll get you in trouble right there. Oh, my goodness. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You just can't make this stuff up. By the way, that's another case, and I have seen them for 30 years in doing this, that says not only do you need a will, but you need to read the will to everyone involved and tell them what your intent is. And so if mom is ill, as an example, if it's a predictable event, if it wasn't a car wreck or something, then she's got her will. She sits down with, her husband and her kids all together, and in the presence of all of them, goes over what this means. And then you've got witnesses of what her intent was. And if Papa is going to balk at that point, then you can start making some moves while she's alive to fight through some of these things. Always know your will, always have a will, and always have everybody that's involved in the will know what the will says. Have a reading of the will while you're alive. It doesn't have to be a formal thing, but everybody needs to know what's going on. And this is what it says, and I can give them a copy of it. It doesn't have to be a big secret. This doesn't have to be like a bad movie script. And that's how a lot of this ends up. This is The Dave Ramsey Show. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.